Wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones and This is the Talk Beat Jones, and I am Billy E. Jones, and want to thank you for joining us today. And remember, today is a joyous day. It's a wonderful day. We have an opportunity to reach out and rejoice and feel great. And let's touch hands in agreement today and feel wonderful about our world. And I've got a wonderful, great program today. I want to give you an opportunity to share this program, to call your friends and let them know that if they are not watching the Talk Beat Jones show, it's live. We come on every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 11, and we give you that wonderful, that good juju, that good woo-woo, that information that is important for you to have for you and your family. You can tell them they can reach us and they can watch us on Roku, Apple, Amazon, Echo, Fire Stick, Alexa, Facebook, and other live streaming modalities. And for those persons who can't see that well, I'm going to give you the telephone numbers in case you want to call us later on in the show. Many people enjoy just listening. Some people say, well, I want to call. If you get that itch, this is the number, 313-868-0342, 313-868-0342. Once again, the other number, 313-868-0351. Once again, 313-868-0351. And we have a third number. That number is 313-868-4336, 313-868-4336. And you will be able to call and let's talk on the Talk Beat Jones show. This program goes around the world, and we have people calling us from all over. And we want you, no matter what country you're in, you can call. The numbers are free. The call is free. The conversation is free, and it goes around the world. So call me on the Talk Beat Jones. Again, I am Billy Jones, and I see we have callers waiting. So before I get started, I'm going to go and see who's on the lines waiting to talk on the Talk Beat Jones. Let me put this phone down, and let's do it this way. Hello? Hold on just a moment, please. Let's do it this way. Good morning. This is Talk Beat Jones. Can I find out who I'm talking with and where you're calling from, please?
Again, Maureen Taylor, Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, right. Oh, my goodness. Ooh. Folks, if you haven't done it, do it now. Call your friends and let them know right now. Let's get ready. I've got a rock and roll show for you that's going to rock you up, make you feel good. Hold on, please. Oh, yeah. This is the Talk Beat Jones. I am Billy Jones. Who am I talking to? Can I get your first name? Where are you calling from, please?
This is Mary of Oakland, California.
All right. Hold on, Mary. Thank you. And we have another caller. Hi, caller. Can I get your first name and where are you calling from, please?
My name is Leo from Oakland, California.
Mr. Leo Brazil from Oakland, California. And Mr. Leo Brazil, as I said before, family, as a council person. Say, once you're a councilman, you're always a councilman. You're a councilman from Oakland, California. Also was the original Black Panther situation there, and student leader at the Merritt College, a community activist, and all of that is Mr. Leo Brazil. Hold on, Mr. Leo. Because I don't want to waste your time, I know that you are working. So I'm going to come directly to you. First off, Miss Maureen Taylor. And folks, for those, and Miss Taylor, give me a moment because my program is not geared just for our Detroit audience. We go around the world, and I do have a vast audience. I get the emails and the texts, etc. Folks, this young lady that you're about to hear needs no introduction in the city of Detroit and in the state of Michigan. Probably in many parts of America because her organization goes all around America. She's for you. She's for us. She's a fighter. She is Miss Maureen Taylor, Michigan Welfare Rights. And there is so much more, but I don't want to take time because I want her to hit you up real good. Miss Taylor, would you take this program and do it just like you do your program that comes on every Friday night? Is that Friday night or Friday morning?
Friday mornings now.
What time is it again?
10 o'clock, 10 to 11 on Fridays,
Okay.
live.
Well, Miss Taylor, because like I said, I know that you are busy, and I want to thank you so very much for taking the time to join us on the Talk Beat Jones to give us great information. So would you talk to us and let the world know? I listened to your program, and I just said, wow, wow, wow. There's so many things going on, but there is help. There is help for our communities. And would you talk to the world and talk to our community? And we have Mr. Leo Brazil and also Mary. They're listening from Oakland, California.
Okay. It is an honor and certainly a pleasure to be invited to be on your program this morning, Mr. Jones.
Oh, you know, the
And,
honor is all
I'm
mine.
looking forward to it. Okay, I'm glad that I'm here. The Welfare Rights Organization got a history. Some of the folks that organized the rights for low-income people, they got started, a long time ago, long before I was involved. And about 1966 is when some of the first meetings that started in Syracuse, New York, where low-income folks and advocates gathered over a couple of days to talk about what kind of fight could be launched to help low-income populations, and at that time it was primarily welfare moms and what needed to happen. So I didn't come along till quite some time after that and have been involved in advocating for the rights of the poor and low-wealth families for a few decades now.
Yes, yes.
The reason I think that it is important for folks to pay attention to what's happening around the world, certainly across the country, California included, certainly in Michigan, in Wayne County, and specifically in the Detroit, Highland Park, and Hamtramck area, is because this pandemic has revealed some major flaws. Things
Yes.
were not good before the pandemic, but for sure the pandemic has revealed major problems, major fissures in service delivery of basic things that you need to survive.
Yes.
So there are a number of people that are showing up now in the last 2, 3, 4 weeks on the COVID list of infection and the COVID list of those who passed away.
Yes, ma'am.
So I was asked more than a couple of months ago if I would serve on the governor's racial task force to take a look at why these COVID infection numbers were so much involved with African Americans, with Hispanics, Native Americans, poor people that were white. Why are the percentages of folks
Now,
so very
Miss
high?
Taylor, give me just a moment. Family who is just joining us, I want you to realize this is the Talk Beat Jones, and I'm Billy Jones, and the person that you're listening to is Ms. Maureen Taylor, and she is with the Michigan Welfare Rights, and that's the report that we're receiving from Ms. Maureen Taylor is the lady talking. Go ahead, Ms. Taylor, please.
Okay, so African Americans only make up 15% of the population in the entire state, but our numbers were showing up around 40% of those infected and those that had passed. And it's the same kind of calculations that affect Hispanics, Native Americans, all across the board. It's primarily poor people of communities of color, and our white sisters and brothers in some of those counties like Clare County, Isabella County, around the middle of the state and the upper part of the lower peninsula, and of course where our native sisters and brothers are on reservations.
And we're talking about Michigan. We're talking about Michigan at that time, right?
We're just talking about the state of Michigan.
Yes, ma'am.
So after looking at those figures, I wanted to be involved in this activity. And, Billy, it has been pure hell that poor people Nothing unusual about that. The poor people have been just suffering through this pandemic as if we weren't suffering before.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sort of the foundation I wanted to mention. And so, of course, all and every kind of support, every kind of advocacy, every kind of assistance that is available, I wanted to bring to your program this morning.
Let me ask a quick question,
Go ahead, sir.
Ms. Taylor. Is Michigan welfare rights only in Detroit, Michigan?
No, we have about 2,500 members across the state. The majority of folks are in, of course, the largest city. We're talking about Detroit. But we have welfare rights members in Kalamazoo, in Highland Park, in Flint, in Hamtramck, in Saginaw, in Escanaba, in Hale, Michigan, across the state and including the Upper Peninsula, and that's Michigan Welfare Rights. Michigan Welfare Rights is an affiliate of the National Welfare Rights Union, and I know that a couple of your colleagues are on hold on the line now. We have welfare rights members in San Francisco, in Los Angeles, in Oakland. We're at about 28 states right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Across the United States of America. So we're in a lot of major areas and taking a look at the poverty issues that are connected to these changes that have shown up with this COVID mess.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. So in Michigan, we've got a governor, and she has her eyes on the prize. Now, her name is Gretchen. It is not Jesus. I like to tell people that. There may be some things about her that you don't care for, okay? But her name is Gretchen Whitmer. Her name is not Jesus Christ. Some of the outstanding things that the governor has been doing are connected to, let's just say, she extended unemployment benefits for everybody in the state through to the end of the month. That's wonderful. There are states in the United States of America that once your unemployment ended, that was it.
That was it.
That was it.
Mm-hmm.
So this particular governor said, no, we got too many people suffering. Over 100, several hundreds of thousands of people that have been displaced, separated from their jobs since March, February and March, when this virus started to affect us. And they are now without cash assistance, and that won't work.
Okay.
So she made that available to folks. And Billy raised a question that I had never thought about, never even heard about before. She's looking at how to extend unemployment benefits permanently. I say, well, what's that? That means you continue to get unemployment past December the 31st and into 2021, and you stay on unemployment until you find a job. Outstanding. Outstanding. So at this moment, there are dollars and resources available for people throughout the state that are suffering. And if you would give me permission, I can detail a couple of those programs, and people that may be in need can certainly access some of that.
Just give me just a moment, okay?
I will.
Okay. Mary, are you listening with this conversation?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Leo Brazil of Oakland, California, you're listening to the conversation, sir?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, thank you. And family, are you listening to Miss Maureen Taylor, Michigan Welfare Rights? Have you got on the phone or do whatever it takes in your modalities to let your friends know this is the information that you need to understand? This is happening here and what's going on in Detroit. We have a West Coast audience that's going to be able to talk with you. And you also will be able to call in and talk on the Talk Beat Jones. Ms. Maureen Taylor, Michigan Welfare Rights, would you continue, please? Thank you.
All righty. Now, there's something called the CARES Act, like you care for someone, CARES. And these dollars are a mixture of federal emergency funds and state funds. Well, the CARES Act dollars have been allocated to several programs in the state of Michigan. And one of the biggest and one of the best ones is the Wayne Metro organization. Now, Wayne Metro, and it says Wayne Metro. Wayne Metro is able to assist folks in Wayne County. There are other counties have to go to other sources, but in Wayne County, you can go to well, I'll give the number afterwards.
Okay.
You can go to Wayne Metro, and they're able to help with a light bill and a gas bill. And of course, the carrier that we have throughout Michigan, the largest one is DTE Energy. Okay?
Okay.
You're behind on a light bill or a gas bill. You got laid off. You got separated from your job in February or March for a month or 2 or 3 or 4. You couldn't get any assistance because you had no money. And your unemployment didn't start for a couple of months, which means you were in the hole when you did, if you did, finally begin to receive unemployment benefits. So the Wayne Metro organization is able to assist with an arrearage light and gas bill. They are able to assist with an arrearage water bill. And you know, Billy, and perhaps your callers from the West Coast, they probably are aware that in Michigan, it started in Highland Park, and then it morphed over to Detroit and Hamtramck, and at Flint, we've been having a devil of a time for a long time, trying to maintain, trying to restore, and trying to make access to public water and sanitation available. But here's Wayne Metro. They're able to help with our back water bill. And I want to say to you, Billy, and your listeners, that is such a significant victory for welfare rights and others. Up until now, and I'm talking about in the last 7 to 8 months, we were fighting to get the state to declare water as a human right. We couldn't do it before with that son of a gun Snyder may die and burn in hell.
But why was it so important to have that arrangement that water was a human right?
It was, and it remains important. And before the pandemic, you cannot tell people over and over and over again, Billy,
Yes.
that in order to stave off the infection rates of COVID, you have to wash your hands 3, 4, 5, 6 times every day.
Okay.
And that is if you didn't want to get infected. You can't tell people to mitigate the damages of the virus and by washing their hands, and you know that there are hundreds of thousands of people throughout the state that don't have water.
Well, Ms. Taylor, didn't we have a problem with when they did the water shutoffs, et cetera, with the workers and the food and the hygiene and the health issues that came up because people didn't have water, running water? This is before COVID even.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk to us about that for a moment, please?
I will. In 2014, there was an absolute explosion when the Detroit Water and Sewage Department started an aggressive campaign of disconnecting water at the homes of all, I don't want to say it that way, at the homes of low-income and fixed-income persons. And I'm making the distinction. These were residential addresses. And at that time, when I first got a list of what, they were talking about, aggressive shutoffs, there were 59,990 separate addresses on several pieces of paper that the city had in its possession, and one of the city workers who is since retired shared that list with me. So what that meant was we called on all welfare rights across the state. We called on the People's Water Board. We called on every organization that was in place in 2014 to talk about how we have to fight this. You cannot have 10 short of 60,000 individuals, 60,000 households, 60,000 addresses. There could be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people living in each address. You cannot countenance a circumstance where you were prepared to shut those numbers of people off.
So you couldn't bathe your babies, bathe your children, couldn't bathe yourself.
Well, let me tell you something about family toileting. Okay, about the same time, here's Flint getting some information. Members of welfare rights calling us in Detroit, talking about something is wrong with the water up here. But let me go back to this family toileting situation because I had never seen it before. Okay. And what that means is if you and I are husband and wife and we live at such and such an address, and now our water is shut off.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got behind, $150 behind, or 2 months behind in paying our bills. So the water department came by and shut off our water. Now what that means is we've got 3 kids, and the little one is 3. And the little one says, I got to go to the bathroom, and that means they have to go right now.
Right now.
So you can take them in the bathroom so they can use the restroom, but don't flush the toilet. So you have to stand there with them because they'll forget. That one leaves. So then you go call the 8-year-old and say, the little one just went to the bathroom. You come on in here and go now. I don't have to go to the bathroom. Yeah, you got to go now. So that 8-year-old now has to use the same toilet. And then the 12-year-old already knows you got to come in here and relieve yourself as well. Nobody can flush the toilet yet. Okay? Here comes mom, here comes dad. Who else needs to use the restroom? And you flush it one time because you've got a great big old container, a bucket of water. So you're able to flush one time because you keep filling up the back of the toilet so that you can flush it again.
Miss Taylor.
I'd never seen that before.
Miss Taylor, so
Billy.
are you saying to the
Family
world
toilet.
and to the people that we had people that you're speaking of there that out of 5 or 6 persons having, or 6 people, 6, 7 people having to use the bathroom before they can actually do anything flush-wise, potentially, what if 3 of those folks had to use number 2?
Didn't matter. If it was liquid, if it was solid. You don't have water running in your house. You have a bucket and several large containers of store-bought water. You can only afford to have one flush. And Billy, I'd never seen anything like that before.
I have. I'm from
Family
Arkansas.
toileting.
I'm from Arkansas, and during the time before they had the bathrooms, they had the outhouses.
Yep.
So that's why I was saying that combination of number 2, number 2, number 2. Wow. Go
Yep.
right ahead, please.
So we had that, and I'd never seen that before. So, of course, after I understood this phenomena, this is directly connected to people being poor. That's all this is.
Yes.
And it didn't matter what color you were.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't matter at all. At the same time, my colleagues in Flint are calling, and we're trying to figure out what the devil's going on here. And that's when the emergency manager in Flint decided that, no, we're not going to use Detroit Water and Sewage Department services anymore. So we're going to disconnect that pipeline that had been in place for decades, and we're going to start using the Flint public water in Flint. And that's the water, Billy, where if you stand at the edge of the Flint River, you can see the tire going by, the dead dog going by, tree limbs going by. That's the water that the colleagues in Flint were starting to notice. And it really became an issue after the governor and Snyder. No, there's nothing wrong with that water. Yes, I know it is brown. Yes, I know it is green. Yes, I know it is frothy. Yes, I know that. But, when you change water over, it's the governor talking, those kind of sediments and whatnot might be in your water. So just let it run for 30 or 40 minutes, okay? And then after that, you can use it. And, of course, that was nonsense. It became an issue clearly when General Motors up in Flint sent a message and email to the governor after 2 or 3 months saying that we've decided at General Motors to not use the Flint water system anymore to clean our materials and to clean parts for our cars because we're starting to see corrosion, Billy, corrosion on the metal parts. So we're going to go back to some private water.
Miss Taylor?
And as a matter of fact, we'll just set up a system where we can go back to Detroit water from Detroit to Flint, and we'll pay for it.
Miss Taylor?
Mr. Governor, you
Wait.
might want to tell the residents in Detroit or in Flint,
Miss Taylor?
maybe they should stop drinking the water.
Okay, Miss Taylor. Now, because of time restraint, we've got to fast forward, and we're going back to Metro.
Okay.
And the fact that because I saw a program in which people were being evicted, they're being, in different places now, the evictions that was the moratorium that was on evictions are now lifted, and they had a sheriff that was going around putting out at least 18 people a day, 18 families a day, had no place to go. So where we are now, we want to skip forward because now we are in that scenario and people who need help. You were mentioning about Metro, and the reason I want to move forward because I do want you before you leave, and I'm able to bring in other folks to talk on the fact that the election and what this election potentially can do to us. So all of the old history, I'm letting that go to move into where we are kind of today.
Okay. Wayne Metro, here's the number, area code 313-388-9799. I'll say it again, area code 313-388-9799. If you need help with a utility bill, you need help with a water bill, you need help with some back taxes, if you need help with burial funds, because right now folks are still dying. You need help with any of those kinds of things, along with minor housing inside repairs, you call Wayne Metro for help, 313-388-9799. You're behind on your rent. There's money set aside to help you if you live in Detroit, if you live in Highland Park, if you live in Hamtramck. You contact the United Community Housing Coalition, and I'm about to give this number, and they can help with back taxes and can help with taxes going forward if you need help. Area code 866, phone number 313-2520. I'll say the number again, area code 866. The phone number is 313-2520. If you need to know where to go get a test for COVID, you can call the hotline 211, and they will direct you to where the COVID-19 testing is going on that is free. If you need help there, that's where you go. Last thing I'll tell you is that the Department of Health and Human Services, that's the welfare department, if you receive food stamps now, if there's anybody in your household that is connected with Medicaid now, you can contact the closest welfare department, the one that services your case, and they will make available up to $3,000 on a back DTE bill. If none of those work for you, you can call us at Welfare Rights 313-964-0618. 964-0618, and you must vote. It is now too late to mail in an absentee ballot. If you have it in your house, it's been hanging around at your house, it's too late to mail it because it may not get there. And the new ruling from the Republicans in the state house is that unless your ballot arrives no later than Election Day, which is next Tuesday, if it comes in the next day, it will be thrown in the trash. So now you bring your ballot to the clerk's office on the boulevard. You hand deliver it. That's what you do now.
Can you pick up a ballot and also vote at the same time at the clerk's office?
You can go to the clerk's office, say I need an absentee ballot, bring out your trusty ink pen, fill it out right there. Make sure you sign in all the places, and of course they'll help you if you're there. And you can leave it right there, and you have cast your ballot. Yes, you can.
What is your thoughts about the Miss Maureen Taylor and Miss Taylor? We're getting short on the time, and I'm going to close out. But I want to ask you, what is your thoughts about the judge telling folks that yes, you can bring your guns to the polls?
It's an outrage, and it has long been an intimidation tactic, and it's wrong. But we are in a circumstance now where there are so many things wrong, Billy. That's why we have to vote on Tuesday. We have to get rid of anybody and everybody, and right now they're predominantly Republicans. We got to kick them all out. You should not be able to bring a gun to the polling site. That should not be able to happen. That reminds me of that movie, Mississippi Burning, where they bought the assault rifles and standing right outside your house the day you were going down to the clerk's office to cast your vote. It's an outrage, but, you know, we got a lot of outrages going on right now, a lot of them.
And there are things that I would like to say that I will not say because I want to stay in that position of being a facilitator.
All right.
But I just want to say that, Miss Taylor, I hope that we can have you to join us again to give us this wonderful, great information because, again, this is the information that is Detroit. But however, folks who are listening all over the United States can have these same scenarios, can have the same situations, and can find out that there's potentially places that they can receive help. If not, you do know, try to find if there's a Michigan Welfare Rights operation close to you to find out information. Is that right, Ms.?
And you can call us in Detroit, and we'll give you the number to where the closest one is. But let me say one last thing, Billy.
Yes, ma'am.
The day after the election, November the 4th, since we have this threat that I'm not going to concede if I lose, and I may have to stay in the White House. A lot of threats, and so the day after, November the 4th at 11 o'clock, we're having what's called the Peaceful Transfer of Power marches. They're going to happen that next day, starting Wednesday. We're going to gather at Central United Methodist Church right there at Woodward and Grand Circus Park, and we're going to, the demonstration actually starts at noon, 1 hour, and we're going to march every single day, until we get people to see peace is really the direction we want to go in. So I would invite all of your listeners, anybody that would like to come and join us, Central Church, the day after the election. Some of us are going to march. Some of us are going to sit at tables and chairs. Masks and social gathering are a must. So folks are invited to come join the Peace March if you can.
We love you. We appreciate you. And we follow you directly.
All right, dear.
And any time that you choose that you want to give information, please don't even hesitate. You don't have to talk with me. You are a person that leads me. You lead me. I remember. I'm stumbling right now because
we go back a long way.
I'm thinking about the power that you possessed and still possess that I witnessed on Woodworth. And your other side of your hip, Miss Kramer.
Marion Kramer.
You know, they're hearing you, but boy, my goodness, they hear the both of you. Whoo, my goodness. But I want to say thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. And I'm sure that we'll hear more from you, Miss Maureen Taylor. And again, what day?
Billy.
What day is your show again?
Fridays, 10 a.m.
Friday, 10 a.m. Family, you don't want to miss it because you're hearing Miss Maureen Taylor, but you got to hear Miss Marion Kramer with her.
All right now.
They the dynamic tool. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Okay, and kiss the kids for me.
Will do.
From a distance.
From a distance. Bye.
Bye now. And family, we're going to prepare to take commercial break, and I have Mary and I have Mr. Leo Brazil. I'm going to come back to you two after the break. And family, if you want to call and join us and have a conversation, you can join us and you can call. The numbers, of course, is 313-868-0342. Call that number. We'll get in. We're going to go take a commercial break. We'll be right back on the Talk Beat Jones. I am Billy E. Jones.
African Ease. We have an array of products to assist you in all your beauty or body needs. Do you want curly, soft, beautiful hair? Well, try our Relaxer line, designed to leave your hair soft, silky, and full of body. Or would you like beautiful, straight, shiny, long-lasting hair? Well, try our Cherry or Extreme Hold Spritz with our Cream Shine. It's guaranteed to give you that look you want. How about dry, achy feet or legs that you can't seem to keep moisturized? Well, try our African Shea Butter Foot Lotion. We have many products to help you with all phases of your beauty and body needs. For a full list of all our products, please visit our website at www.aeasysilk.com or call us at 313-277-2319.
Hi, this is LaWanda.
This is R.J. Watkins.
Coming to you to bring you some information about the #1 detox in the nation, Lemon Burn. Lemon Burn helps to turn the fat into fit. It's for you, a happier, healthier you, because you know healthy is the new beautiful. An all-natural way to improve your health. It promotes a healthy digestive system, attacks and reduces belly fat, as well as gives you energy. Need to get yours today. Call 313-868-6612.
Don't forget to exercise and eat right. side.
We at Watkins Broadcasting care about the health and safety of our viewers and listeners. During this novel coronavirus pandemic, please protect yourself and others. Wash your hands well and often. Avoid touching your face. Cough and sneeze into your sleeve. Practice social distancing. Stay at least 6 feet away from others when in public and only leave the house when it's essential. Stay safe. You are important to us.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones and Again, this is the Talk Beat Jones when I am Billy E. Jones. And again, thank you, family, for being with us. We appreciate you. And I'm receiving your comments and your love. And I certainly appreciate your comments and the things that you're saying. And I'm considering the considerations that people have been asking. Billy, what about Jones' size? People who hear that, they say, what the heck is he talking about? Folks, there was a fitness program called Jones Size for Women Only. The creation started in the 70s. Was probably one of the first programs in America doing the aerobic business. It has continued. And we have thousands and thousands of clients over the years, over 20 some odd years, that are mentioning we need to get started again in doing something to help us with our health. So family, I'm going to make the announcement that as of today, I'm going to go into my little shed, my little gym, which is a room, and start meditating and thinking, is it time? Is it time to come back with a version of the Jones size for your health care to help you stay healthy, fit, toned, firm, and fine? That's Jones size. We'll be talking about that. Mary?
Yes, I'm still here.
Still here?
Uh-huh.
What are your thoughts? And give it to me.
Well, I congratulate Ms. Taylor, and I hope she keeps on keeping on. But what I want to talk about is Black Lives Matter. Evidently, in Philadelphia, they don't think that Black Lives Matter. 20-year-old boy, man, caught up in about 14 bullets, and he was mentally ill, and his mother watched him get killed.
Okay.
So maybe Black lives still don't matter. And I'm asking the looters, cut it out. What do you want to do, get Trump elected? Protesting is fine. But the looting's got to stop. Grow up. That's really all I had to say, Billy. I really don't have anything to say. I'm really disgusted about this. And when it comes to the water stuff, Lord, I put it on this station. I talked about Oakland schools, how the lead got in the water and the pipes had turned, and nobody seemed to care. Until I got on your station, and they started cleaning up their act. I hope it's cleaned up. So you have a good day, and good morning, Mr. Brazil.
Okay, thank you very much, Mary. All right,
You bet.
Bye now. Mr. Leo Brazil,
Yes, sir.
it's your time. You always have something that you want to present to us. You've listened you have something that you want to discuss with us. You may want to bring us up to the election and what may happen after the election. Mr. Leo Brazil, councilman, Black Panther, activist, leader of the people. Talk to us, Mr. Leo Brazil.
Well, Billy, because we don't have a lot of time to get into things in depth, I just want to skim over a lot of what you started off with because it encapsulates so much, and that's the word poverty. We don't talk about poverty, and you heard nothing in the presidential election debates or whatever about poverty. So I want to just stay on that issue because everything that Ms. Taylor was talking about is so pertinent today. We got the COVID-19 out there, which is an airborne disease, meaning that you don't have to touch something to get it. It is in the air. And so air is a basic human need, like water is a basic human need. So you cannot stop this disease unless you deal with everybody that is human because they can pass it through the air. Animals need water and people need water. And therefore, you cannot live anywhere and call yourself civilized where you don't have water. So water and air are basic human and animal needs. And so you cannot stop COVID unless you deal with the air. So you cannot isolate yourself into your rich enclaves behind gated communities and think that the air is not going to come there. So this is a problem that if we get the health care that we need, we can beat it. But what about if you're poor? What about if you're homeless? What about if you're out there with no ability to go get medical care or to have healthy food or whatever? You are going to be a perpetual carrier of this airborne disease. And so if we want to get rid of this disease, we got to help everybody. So I think Ms. Taylor was very pertinent in the point that she was talking about, is that this question of poverty is now springing up, and we now see a whole lot of needs as a result of this COVID. And so now we got to start addressing it. And as a former city councilman making public policy, we need public policy that is going to take care of the needs of not only just take care of people in poverty. And the Bible tells you who was in poverty and who you're supposed to take care of far back then. It said who? The orphans, the widows, and the elderly. So we got a Social Security system pretty good that takes care of the elderly and Medicaid and everything that is out there for the poor, but we need a whole lot more in terms of our public policy response to this disease.
Let's take a moment, and I'm going to come back to, as you're mentioning, the Social Security and the situation there. I also want to come back on us speaking about the need to take care of this virus, the poor people. Has it appeared to other folks that people whom are in power are trying to demonstrate that this COVID-19 may affect other folks more seriously than the people who are running this country? When I look at the Los Angeles Dodgers world champions, when they decided, when they had the pitcher, they took a player out of the game. Why? Because he tested positive for COVID. Okay? But he had played, and at the end of the game, when if they take him out, they brought him, let him come back and get in the picture with all the other people with no mask. And they knew he was positive with COVID. So can you explain to me, as we're talking about our needs of the people in general and talking about circumventing this COVID-19, and you have the people in power, the rich folks are saying, oh, don't worry about it. It's something that we can tolerate. We can catch this COVID, but we recover. And we're not concerned about what other folks are doing, how it's affecting other people. The president tell you, I got it. Melania got it. My son got it. My staff got it. Anybody else got it. But you don't hear about if they're in the hospital. We don't hear about have they had any situations that's going to be lingering for them. We don't have any idea. We hear about people caught the COVID, but what is the result? What are their health conditions? And these are people who are in the public because they are officials with the president, the vice president, etc. It's like, yeah, we heard somebody got the COVID, and that's it. Did they die? Did they have to go to the hospital? If they don't have to have these serious situations, they're saying, oh, it's just like a bad cold to many of us. Them other folks, yeah, no problem. What is your thoughts with that, Leo?
Well, first of all, you mentioned Jones's size and get your body in shape and everything, and that's important for health reasons because when you are healthy, that means your immune system.
Did Jones's size work in Oakland?
I'm sorry?
Did Jones's size, the workout program, Jones's size that I speak on, did it work in Oakland, California, and also was on television, so we were broadcast all over. But did it work in Oakland?
Yeah, I mean, you were doing that program. That was my wife would get up and do that. You mentioned aerobics and everything. Before they had Jane Fonda and all of them coming on making all that money, you out there getting my wife up in the morning to jump around and dance to the music and exercise. And I just thought it was cute, you know. But it turns out that health is critical in this COVID thing because your immune system, when it goes down, you are vulnerable. That's why at 65 years old, they're telling you the people that are dying from this stuff are elderly people because your immune system has gone down. Now, you got the Dodgers, the Warriors, these basketball players and all of them. These people are in shape, and therefore their immune system can kick this thing back. So when they test positive, all it shows is that they've been exposed to it, but it didn't break them down. So they can go and get some medical treatment and whatever and get isolated, and they're all right. But see, when grandma gets it, grandma's immune system is down, and she's going to die. She needs some immediate health care, like breathing help and everything else, and have to go into the hospital. So the same thing for the president and all the rest of them. They get the very best medical care that they need once they are shown to have tested. The immune system needs some help, and they get that help from the doctors. So that's why Taylor, what she was talking about, people that are poor, their immune systems are down because their diets are bad, because they're not exercising like most of us, and they are the ones that are then most vulnerable. But you got to do something about those people because this is an airborne disease. It will be put into the air by those poor people.
Let me jump in. Let me jump in just a minute, Leo.
About those poor people, so they said we're not going to shut down the economy to try to isolate these people. Therefore, they're just going to have to die.
Okay, yeah, Mr. Leo. Now, family, Leo can't see me. He's just talking through the telephone. So, Leo, let me ask you this question, Mr. Leo Brazil, Oakland, California. We have the President of the United States at his rallies, and he's talking at our governor, and he's telling the people to demand their children be put back in school, to have the schools to open, etc. And that the young folks, you know, the young people, they have this tremendous immune system that we didn't know, but they can handle this, and it's not a problem. No, it's not a problem for the young people. However, it is the young people that are infecting the older people. Talk to me, Leo.
Well, again, this is all simple logic. You say it's an airborne disease and everybody can put it into the air. If you give it to the young kid and his immune system, or you give it to the Dodgers, these prime-bodied athletes, their immune system can fight it off. But their immune system might be able to fight it off, but that still don't stop them from breathing it into the air to their family when they go home. And if grandma is in there with a low immune system, that healthy Dodger who got medical care, or that young teenager, or that young kid from school, they're going to be all right because the immune system and medicine is going to make them survive the same way it did for the president. But it ain't going to help Granny. And then Granny go pass it on to somebody else if she's allowed to go to church and spread it. You see what I'm saying? It's airborne, so you got to cut people off from the virus. And if you do that, that means isolation. And if you isolate people, that means they cannot go to the store and buy things and spend money. And that's what Trump is worried about. He don't want to shut down the economy. So he says there's a certain number of people going to die. They estimate about 2 million. He kept that secret because he didn't want people to know that we're going to get up to maybe 2 million people die before this thing subsides the first time. And if you go back and look at the 1918 pandemic, they had the first time and everybody thought it was over. Then the second wave came and the more people died in the second wave than in the first. So this man has made a decision to allow a certain number of people to die to keep the economy going where it can keep going. And they call that herd immunity.
That herd immunity. That herd immunity. That's something that, is that good for black people?
That's not good for anybody.
But I mean, I know it's not good for anybody, but I'm asking the question specifically because I don't believe that I'm hearing from black leaderships that we should be involved with herd immunity, which is folks gathering up people and seeing if we can become affected so that we can get immunity to the COVID virus, somewhat of that nature. Is that somewhat close?
Well, no, the herd immunity means that if you got a herd, let's say the herd now is humanity. The herd is humanity. Now, if you can't stop this disease, then you know 1/3 of the herd is going to die. That herd is going to survive 2/3 because they have become immune to the disease. You see, if you catch it, and then your immune system then will build antibiotics and everything to fight it off, and therefore you're now immune. That's why Trump is calling himself immune, because he had it. Now the problem is that you made a determination that 1/3 of the herd is going to die so that the 2/3 can get immunity. And it's not like only the black people are going to die. No. Low-income people, people that have low immunity, old people, white or black, green or whatever, are going to die. And Trump says until we get a vaccination, there's nothing we can do about it but isolate people. And if you isolate people, you shut the economy down. So he said, let them die.
Let them die. So it's a process where they say only the strong shall survive in a situation of that nature. So if black people's immunity systems or immune systems is down, so if I've got 5 black folks and 5 folks of other nationalities and they have a stronger system and we are subjected to that, out of those 10 people, and you have 3 or 4 that's going to die, that 3 or 4 people that's going to die is going to come out of that black group.
Well, it's going to come out of the poverty group, because the poverty, and if we are disproportionate in poverty, then blacks are going to get hit. And that's what the data is showing. That's what Ms. Taylor was talking about, that it is a poverty thing. If you're poor, you can't get the health care you need. You can't get the proper foods you need. You can't get all of these things that would help you to survive as part of the herd immunity, right?
Speaking on
and
further...
therefore, you're going to disproportionately show up in poverty. And that is what they're showing, that is disproportionately showing up in poverty. And who have you had in terms of poverty? Poverty is a woman and children problem by and large in the United States. They are the ones who disproportionately affected, women and children. And so those children, if they are poor kids, they are going to take it to the school system. And those women that are out there taking care as caregivers to their elderly and their elderly parents or their children are the ones who are being affected by this, and the only way they're going to be saved right now is through a vaccination, but there is no vaccination. So what can we do in the meantime? Put the mask on, keep your distance, and wash your hands. Now, how can you wash your hands, what Miss Taylor talked about, when the water bill is killing you and pushing you into poverty in the first place?
Got to switch. Got to make a quick switch. You spoke about the Social Security situation and said, well, we'll be all right. Well, after November 3rd, if you have your president reelected, he's already let you know that he's going after the Social Security system, and his thoughts and his situation that he's proposing, they say, will deplete the Social Security system by 2023.
Yes.
So all of these particulars that we're looking at on November the 4th, we will have a greater understanding in terms of where we stand in this world called the United States of America.
Yep.
I'm seeing the man himself right now, Mr. R.J. Watkins, walking through this door, Mr. Leo Brazil. Just want you to know that. That's the owner, the creator, the visionary person himself is here. But I got to get ready to go, but I wanted to let you know that I appreciate you. And by the way, what's going to happen to the health care? Give me 2 minutes. Give me a minute and a half on that real quick.
What do you mean, what's going to happen to it?
If they're talking about taking away the Obamacare, etc.
Well, there again, 20 million people going to lose health care immediately as soon as it's repealed. 20 million people will be added to the 100-some million that we already got out there that needed that, that is on health care. So, again, once you lose your health care, your immune system is going to go down. And once your immune system is going down, the airborne disease will attack.
Mr. R.J. Watkins. Okay. Well, that's the way we got to go. Got to roll, got to go. But I want to thank you so very much. And next week, I'm looking for more information from Mr. Leo Brazil of Oakland, California. Thank you so very much, Mr. Leo Brazil. We love you, brother. Appreciate you. Have a great weekend.
You too, man.
All right. Bye now. Family, this has been the Talk Beat Jones. I am Billy Jones. Remember, you can call in. You can walk in. You can see what we're doing. Walk into where you are. Turn it on. Live streamers. Tell your friends. Share. I am Billy E. Jones, Talk Beat Jones. Have a wonderful life. Love you. Bye now. You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones, and